This is Patrick.
And Shuba for Indo-German Chronicles.
So today we want to show you a little video about our last trip to some quite unusual countries. So Shuba, where did we travel to last year again?
Central Asia.
Central Asia. So which countries are coming into your mind? I give you a tip. It's one of these Tan countries. And we decided to go to
Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan.
So why did we end up with Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan? I don't even know where it is. I mean, before we traveled there, I didn't know.
And Kyrgyzstan is my 40th country, so that's also special because it's like a round number. Yeah, and we were so excited from day one of our planning.
So Shuba, how did we end up with the decision to travel to Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan?
I was going through a Facebook page of a friend, and then I saw a post about Uzbekistan. I was like, wow, yeah, Uzbekistan could be a good idea. And immediately what I do is, I go in another page to see, okay, what are the visa requirements for Indians in Uzbekistan? And then we know that we were like discussing between three countries, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan. And so for me, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan is e-visa, and I also I think Tajikistan is visa on arrival. I don't know. Easy, one of the easy visa process. Then we said, yeah, why not Central Asia? That's a good idea. And September is the perfect time because it's not too hot and it's not too cold before winter. So that was a great timing. And that's how we ended up with Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan. Kyrgyzstan, it's e-visa. So for me, e-visa is one of the easiest, or visa on arrival also. It's easiest because you apply online and get it. So it was 10 days before we traveled. I applied for my e-visa, and the website also says that it takes like 5 business days, but I was like, normally when they say 5 business days, it's only like 2 to 3 business days.
She's always at the very last
minute
to organize something.
So I applied like 10 days before, not business days, 10 calendar days before, and I didn't get any response for the first 5 like I got a response on the 5th business day, but I was already thinking I should get a response within 2 to 3 days, but I didn't. And then I checked some forums and I saw, they are rejecting a lot of visas for Indians and so on. I don't know, I just saw the forums and I was super stressed. I even came up with a plan B. In case if I don't get a visa for Kyrgyzstan, what do we do? Patrick hated me absolutely, I think, right? You hated me really for this. But so I will post the URL or the website where we can apply for an e-visa. It takes around, for Indian passport, I don't know, I think it depends on the passport also. The visa fees is around $40 and it takes like 5 business days and it's super easy. It's not complicated at all, but just that I was a bit stressed.
This time for Shuba we traveled with a big backpack. I still had my old one from the times when I traveled to Australia, but for Shuba we had to buy a new one shortly before.
Yeah, and I loved it because it's an orange color.
we are from Germany and flew to Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan this morning. Arrived here at 8:30 and
then we checked into Bishkek Centrum Hotel. They did a free airport shuttle, early check-in. We slept a bit. We bought our SIM card, which is Megacom. That's quite nice. It has a good coverage, I guess. And it has 14 GB for us. And next is ATM was a bit of a challenge, but we figured out that there are two ATMs, which is Demir and Kyrgyz Commerce. Demir doesn't charge you anything, and you can withdraw USD also on it. And now we started our sightseeing to
the Alaarcha Square.
To Alaarcha Square. And we continue.
And by the way, this SIM is so cheap here. Just cost €1.50 for 14 GB. Amazing.
Yeah.
To go for a restaurant, we quickly downloaded the Yandex app to order a taxi. So it's always helpful to have an app like Uber, or in this case in Central Asia, Yandex app, so you don't pay too much for the taxi rides.
For dinner, we chose Nava, the restaurant. It was a bit of a confusion because there were two locations. Somehow we figured it out. The proper location, and it was a recommendation from one of the locals, and we loved it. We ate lagman and the noodles with horse meat. I forgot the name now.
Next morning we plan to go to the Archa National Park, which is just about 40 kilometers away from Bishkek. But Shuba, do you want to tell us your story how we got there?
Yeah. Okay, this is one of my another last minute thing. So we were looking for a driver. So I used this Indie Guide website, and we want to start the next day morning at 9. And you wouldn't believe when I finalized the driver, it's around midnight. I was checking out few options, and one of the options really worked. After we arrived in Archa National Park, we were in the parking, and I just turned around. Boom! I see a batchmate of mine from Barcelona days. And I was like, wow, that was like super coincidence, but that was really funny. Like
the world can be really small.
Yeah, true. Then we started with a hike. There are many hiking routes. We ended up choosing the waterfall route. So you can go up to the waterfall, and you can even go further to the Key Glacier. But our goal was only to reach up to the waterfall.
What we really loved about this hike were the autumn colors in this national park. So you're walking there and you see these yellow colors of the trees. It was beautiful.
After we arrived at the waterfall, we decided to hike a bit more up.
Quite steep though. This took quite a while, and we couldn't manage to see the glacier, but I had my drone with me, so I did the drone do the rest.
Next morning, we continued our road trip. So for rest of the trip, we hired a car and a driver. So I found him through Indie Guide as well. Again, Adelaide, he's good. And then we continued to Burana Tower.
The Burana Tower is a large minaret 80 kilometers east of Bishkek, and it was constructed in the 11th century. Burana Tower also has a staircase, a spiral staircase to go up to the top, but it's just a bit difficult when there are people coming down again when you want to go up. It's really narrow, this staircase, but it's an experience. Top was the cattle market of Tokmok, where you don't only see cows but also horses, sheep and all other kind of animals. I really enjoyed walking around there because this kind of market we don't see in Germany.
After the cattle market, we continued along the northern shore of Bishkek lake until we reached a small town.
Okay, Shuba, where are we now?
We are in Karakol. This is a stop before climbing to Archa tomorrow. So we stay here overnight.
Okay, so basically we are in the countryside, I feel. Looks very
countryside.
Very countryside. Much different than Bishkek, much older houses. But interesting. So we hope you liked the first part of our Kyrgyzstan video. See you soon in the next episode of Shuba and Patrick in Kyrgyzstan.